Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a tutorial on this look using a bunch of hyped up makeup products. We're going to talk about how they perform and are they really worth it? So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep watching. Alright you guys, I do not have anything on my skin, so I am going to start with our first hyped up product, and that is the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. I know, mine looks a little bit rough, but we'll see how I feel about it. I have not used this in quite a while, so we'll see. I feel like everybody loved this when it first came out. Like, everybody was like, it's so hydrating. I love it for makeup prep too. And like, people that claim to have dry skin said that it was like super moisturizing. But then me with my crusty dry skin, I felt like, you know, it's nice, but not like as nice as people were making it out to be. So it is a little bit tacky, which I can see why it would be good to prime with, but I don't feel any more hydrated than I did a minute ago. So not off to a good start. All right, so the next thing I'm going to use is the Farsali Unicorn Essence. So this is we're gonna do it the way that they did it too. Oh, no, we're not. I just went like this. It's dried up. Yep, okay, well, that's okay. We have another one. So, actually, I have to film an empties video, so I will add that to my empties. And then the next one I have is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This was super hyped up, and then they came out with one that was like purple. But this is supposed to hydrate and give me like a nice glow to start with. And it is very glowy. Actually, if this does well today, I might need to get this out for summer. So just rub that all in. It's glowy. Real glowy. Okay, so then I have to go in and blur out my pores. So I am going to go in with one that people are still really loving, and that is the Benefit the Porefessional. So I'm just going to put this in like my T-zone kind of. And this I actually got in, what was it? I think it was BoxyCharm. And I haven't used it since, I don't know, maybe since it like came out. It's been a long time since I've used it. But I was like, ooh, like with quarantine and everything, my pores have gotten just like, ugh. So I was very excited to get this in my box. So this I have been using and have been liking it, so that's good. Okay, so for foundation, there are so many hyped up foundations. Like, I could go with the Dior Forever Skin. I could go with NARS Longwear Foundation, which I do not like, which is unfortunate because like when I first put it on, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And they have good shades, but it doesn't last on me. I don't know why. doesn't last. I've tried so many different primers with it, set it down, doesn't work for me. Then I was like, I could go in with Too Faced, I could do Fenty, but I figured I would go in with the one that is really popular right now on social media, and that is the Il Maquillage foundation. I think this is going to be slightly light for me right now. I spent like all day out in the sun today. Like my shoulders got a little pink, which actually I'm gonna take this off because it's warm and we're gonna be here for a while. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna go in with this and we're just gonna do bronzer if we need to. So, this one I have used before and I have done a review on it, so I will link that down below for you guys. It's not quite as full coverage as I normally prefer, but it is a pretty good foundation. Oop, didn't blend out that primer. So we'll just put this all over. I'll look a little light, but I think with some bronzer we'll be able to fix that. Okay, so a little bit light. I'm sure those of you that are new here are like, why am I watching this girl's video? She has no clue what she's doing. I do, I promise. It's just a little bit light, but we'll make it work. So for concealer, I had a couple, which I wanted to grab two because I wasn't sure shade-wise what was going to be happening. So I grabbed the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is our first drugstore item, so that's exciting. And then, of course, the other one is Tarte Shape Tape. Yep. So this one, I will say the hype is worth it. It is. It's like the most full coverage concealer that I have personally tried. If somebody has a better one, let me know because I probably need it. Okay, so let's see what this color looks like. Yeah, that's darker than my foundation. But I actually gonna use it where I don't want to brighten and where I want to get a little bit more coverage. So we'll do that. Like this Zit City right here, we're just gonna, we don't want to brighten that. So we're just gonna cover. Okay, and then I'm gonna use Shape Tape under my eyes to brighten more. So now that I'm even lighter than I was before, we are going to go in with, actually I was going to do setting powder, but we're going to do some liquid highlighter. And this is the iconic London Illuminating Drops. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand there and then pick it up with my sponge and just do the tops of my cheeks. Right above my brows, bring it down the nose, and just a touch on the chin there. Did I show you the package? This guy? This was so popular when it came out. It was like when the Cover FX drops, it came out after those came out, but everybody was like, this one's better. So, but they only had one color of it, but they ended up expanding their range a little bit, but everybody loved it. I think I might like the Cover FX ones better, honestly. Maybe it's the shade range, but I don't know. Like, yeah, it gives you glow, but like not that much. I don't know. Worth the hype? Probably not. Okay, so anyway, for translucent setting powder, good old Laura Mercier. So hyped up. So good though. So good. Let's take it back to this tried and true oldie but goodie Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I went ahead and set my T-zone with this. Looking a little white, but don't worry, we're about to put some color back in. But I have nothing bad to say about the Laura Mercier. It's a good one. So if you've been, you know, kind of debating it, just get it. I think they have like a travel size one that you can get. So maybe start with that, but like this size will last you a long time. And I have like the travel size one and I refill it with the big one. And little Leo's here. Okay, so to set the rest of my face, I am going to go in with this one. The hype is worth it all. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. So good. This is in the shade 1 because we are fair right now. So I am just going to set the outside perimeter of my face with this. This is just so good. It's like finely milled. It really does give you like an airbrushed look. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So good. So worth it. Okay, so for bronzer, we're gonna add a little bit of color back into this face. For bronzer, I was having a hard time picking which one to use because there's so many good bronzers. So the ones I pulled are the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in Tantastic. This is the pale one, and it's broken, and I just had some leak out there. The other one, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. People love this. It's still so good. It smells good. And they now have a range of colors, which is nice. So this is light bronzer, but so, so good. And then I grabbed my NARS Laguna bronzer. So this is actually a duo, but it is this guy. But that is a little bit cooler than the other two, so I think I'm going to use that to contour. So, you know what? For bronzer, let's go with my Pore Cracked All Over the Place Marc Jacobs, so we can use a little bit of this guy. I'm literally taking it off of the mirror because it's broken and there's so much of it everywhere. Oh yeah, so good. Like, look at that color. Oh, it's just a beautiful color. They do have a darker one. It comes in a black compact. So if you are deeper in skin tone, that's more like medium to dark. This is gonna be more fair to light. And maybe like the beginning of the medium range. But yeah, you can see it's not super dark on my skin tone, and I made my skin tone even lighter with that foundation. So it is fair. This is just so good. Oh, I miss it. I kind of want to get one that's not cracked. I probably could just fix this one, but it's just so good. And it's a huge compact. Like, I know it's pricey. I think it's like 50 some dollars, which is a lot of money, but it's big. So just keep that in mind. Justify the price a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a bunch because I'm really pale, so we're just gonna add color. Like, isn't that so much better now? I know, we're getting there. Okay, so then for contour, let's go in with the NARS Laguna bronzer. All right, yay, my face has dimension. Not quite as pale and one shade. Okay, so for blushes, I was thinking about blushes and I'm like, you know, blushes are one of those products that there's not a lot that are like people's holy grails forever because people like to change it up with blush a lot. So, you know, depending on what your eye look is, you might go for like a pinky or a peachy or a red or copper or nude or purple. Like, there's so many different colors of blush. So there's not really one that's like that go-to, everyone needs it blush, except for NARS Orgasm. Think about that blush, like everybody knows what it is. So I figured that's what we would use today. I thought about doing the, what are they called? Buxom, I think it's called Wanderlust or Wonderlust, but it's the primer infused blush. Those are really, really good. But I was like, there's not a specific shade. So I figured today we'd do Orgasm. So this is like a pink blush with gold flecks of shimmer. So it gives it that nice glowy youthful look, but it is almost like peachy instead of pink because it has the gold reflect in it. So, and it just blends out really nicely. I actually have this in the liquid blush formula as well as the powder. So if you're curious, if you like both of these NARS products, get the duo. because otherwise the pan sizes in singles are just so big. Like, you know, it's going to take a long time to get through them, but I like having the duo. Okay, so before we move on to highlight, I figured we'd go in with this lovely shimmering powder to add a little glow back into my face. And that is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder. And this is the Euphoric Strobe Light. So this is what it looks like. But there are several of these Hourglass powders. So it's really just kind of pick the one that works for you. If you are someone who likes more of like a subtle highlight, you will love this as a highlight. But since I'm dry, I like it all over my face because it makes me look dewy and youthful, which is always my goal. So that is a good one. Hourglass in general is a great brand. Everything that I've tried from Hourglass, I'm like, yeah, I see why people pay for this. Like, there's not a lot of Hourglass products that I've like repeatedly purchased, but I like will use all of it when I have it, and then occasionally I will splurge and get another one. But it's a good brand. Okay, highlight. There's a few, but Ofra killed it in the highlight game with Rodeo Drive. So we are going to pop this one on. And actually, this is like a champagne-y gold. Hope it's not too dark. Oh no, we're good. I have like a cat hair on my nose, probably from this big fluffy brush. Oh yeah, look at that. Ofra gives you like really wet highlights. Another one, if you can't afford Ofra or you don't want to spend that much money on Ofra, is Flower Beauty. They have a trio of highlight. It's good. It's good. I debated using that one, but I was like, no, Ofra. So Ofra is a good one. Hype is worth it. Okay, so I'm going to set this down with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This setting spray first off, do you see that fine mist? The mist on this with the aerosol can, that's where it's at. However, the formula, not as long lasting as what I'm gonna set with at the end, but it's good. I've been using that during my quarantine to make my makeup last a little bit longer because I don't need my makeup to last, you know, like 8 to 12 hours. I just need it to last a few hours. So I've been using that one, but for just setting down my face makeup, like as my halfway step, it's a good one. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I figured I would go in with this very expensive brand that gets a lot of hype, and that is Natasha Denona. Okay, so I have 3 of her palettes right here. First off, I will say if you want to try this brand, get one of the minis, but don't get the mini star palette. For some reason, this one is a dud. I don't know. It didn't come out as well. The mattes are good, but the shimmers, they are not normal Natasha Denona shimmers. So, okay, I think I'm going to go with a pretty neutral eye with just some browns because I do have a topper that I want to put on. So, let me see. So my topper is bronze. So I think I will go in with, well, we're gonna start with the Star palette, and I'm gonna go in with the transition shade in here. It's kind of a peachy tan. Hi! So he was sleeping when I started recording. And then I'm like, I know as soon as I start talking, he's gonna wake up, which you guys saw, he's already been in the video. He always does that. Like, I've been working from home during quarantine, and like, since I'm fairly new at my job, I don't have like a lot of calls or anything. So I'll just be working on like paperwork or reading stuff. I'm doing a lot of reading, but the second I get on like a video chat with a client or a conference call or anything, he just starts like meowing like crazy or like pops into the video. He just like is there when someone starts talking. It's weird. Okay, next I'm gonna go into the mini Lila. I think that's how she pronounced it. It looks like Lila, but I'm pretty sure it's Lila. And go into that transition shade, which is a little cooler. It's actually pretty neutral, but compared to that other one, it's cooler. Same brush. Just throw that in the crease. We're not gonna do anything like too like technical or anything with this eye look. Natasha Denona. Is it worth the hype? Let's just get into that. Yes and no. I don't know. Some of her shadows, I'm like, oh yeah, so good. Buttery soft, blend like a dream. Like those mattes, blended out so easily, so buttery, love them. But, and the shimmers, if you apply them with your finger, oh my god, some of them are just so good. But like I said, that mini Star palette, such a dud. Like, who are you? I'm spending this palette right here, the Sunset palette, I believe it's like $124. So yeah, it's a pricey one. So is it worth it? I don't know. It's really up to you. I enjoy most of the eyeshadows that I have from that brand. So it's really just up to you what you're going to be using them for, how often you're going to be using them. If you're going to use them, it's probably worth it. Now, there are so many other good brands out there as well that I don't think you need to spend that much on an eyeshadow palette. It's kind of insane. But if you have the money and you want to, then I'd say go for it. Okay, so I just put that brown kind of on the outer corners, and I kind of wish I could just leave this eye look matte and blend it out a little bit more, but I know that's boring and that's not what we're here for. So let's go ahead and move on to our shimmer, which is more of like a glitter, I guess, instead. And that is the Artist Couture Diamond Lights Finisher in Diamond Bronze. Okay, these are crazy good. They are so good. They are very glittery though. And I'm actually going to get something for Fallout because they are messy. So, one second. Okay, so I grabbed a paper towel and I'm just going to put this literally under my eye, hold it there. I'm gonna go in with my ring finger and I'm gonna pick some up and then tap it in the lid That's kind of a lot. A little bit goes a long way with this product. Then, like, look at that. I see the reflection. It's like my sign behind me. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the other side. And I'm just grabbing from what's left in the lid. Like, so glittery. So good. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that off my finger a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in with just a teeny tiny little shader brush. I'm gonna pick up a couple more pieces that are in the lid and just get them into that inner corner a little bit better. Oh yeah. So these are good. They are definitely worth it. Everything I've tried from Artist Couture I've really liked. The only thing I will say is their highlights are blinding, but they are glittery. So at least the ones that I have tried are glittery. So just be aware that, yeah, it's gonna give you like that wet look, but when you look at it, it's glitter. So just a heads up on that one, but these little finishers, oh, so good. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take a makeup wipe and wipe my finger off because I don't want that to get anywhere else besides my eyes. And since it's glitter, it will. You know, glitter is the herpes of the arts and crafts world, but also of the makeup world. So if you want, you could use a glitter glue, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally taking this off when I'm done filming, so I don't care. But yeah, so good, so shiny, love them. Okay, so next I'm going to finish my lower lash line. I'm just going to go back into the Lila palette and just do like a little smoke out. Okay, and then I'll go back into the Sunset palette and just take a little bit of that chocolatey brown shade just on the outer half of the eye. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so for liner, I was trying to think of some good eyeliners, and I really, you know, people switch up the top eyeliner that they like. I really like liquid felt tip pens. So some of the ones that I was debating between are the what's it called? Benefits roller liner is one that people really like. And then there's been a few that, you know, people have really liked, but then it goes away. But the liner I chose to use is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. So I had read a lot of good reviews on this, and let me tell you, it is worth the hype. It is just so dark, so effortless. You can do a flick if you want super easily. You can do a nice thin line. It's just so good and it lasts all day. Also, I will say that I feel like this lasts me a while. Like, it isn't dry until it's gone. Like, and it lasts a long, long time, like months before I have to get a different one. So I will recommend that one for a long, long time. Okay, so I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes and we'll go ahead and move on to brows for now. So when I was thinking about brows, I'm like, well, there are a few brands, but when you think of brows, Benefit is like the brow brand. So I picked up a Precisely My Brow Pencil because I have never used this before. So I got this in the shade 2.5. So hopefully that's good for me. So I just got the mini size, which the downside of getting the mini size is there's no brush on it. So I used this spoolie on my NYX micro brow pencil. Not hyped up, but worth it. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. The shade looks like it might be perfect. So this is very similar to my NYX micro brow pencil. Okay, I see why people like it. It's good. It's probably slightly softer than my NYX micro brow pencil. So I like that. And the shade is good for me. 2.5 is a good color for me. So I like it. I think they look good. It's easy to use. It's mechanical. It's kind of cute packaging. So I like it. Might be worth the hype. Unfortunately, I'm not going to really be testing lasting power because it's like 10 o'clock at night, but it looks good. So I like it. Okay, and then for brow gel, I thought about getting a Gimme Brow by Benefit, but I don't like it. So I wasn't gonna spend money on something that I know I don't like because I've purchased it before and didn't like it. So I stuck with my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. People really like the tinted Anastasia Brow Gel as well. And then I've heard really good things about Glossier has a brow gel that people really like. Um, However, that's a little bit harder to order. So I didn't end up buying it. I'm just using what I have. But the Clear Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills is so good. So worth the hype. Um, I can't even tell you how many of those I have purchased, but I was going through my drawers the other day and found that I have 3 brand new boxes of them. So I got a new one out. I wasn't finished with my other one, but I'm like, I'm close enough. Gonna get a new one out. So, but super good. Locks you in, holds you in place. I'm not huge on the whole soap brows. But if that's your thing, you go ahead and do that. But I like the ease of the Clear Brow Gel. So easy, and like I don't need a sink or anything to do soap brows. So let's move on to mascara. Mascara, I got the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This has been around for quite a while, and I hadn't tried it, but it's one that like is always like highly recommended, like hot, lots of stars. I had like a fuzz and I don't know where it went. Okay, well, it'll end up back in my lashes. It's cool. But it had a bunch of stars and people really like it. Like, I know people personally that purchase it, so like, you know what, I'll get it. And when I was looking at it, I was like, it does have a wand that I would like. Just like a simple, smaller sized wand. And it's pretty good. I've used better mascaras, but it's black and it's easy to apply, other than the fact that I'm getting it all over the place. But that's just me. I'm kind of sloppy when it comes to mascara. It's not good. But it's a good one. I mean, you can see it's doing something for my lashes, which is always good to have from your mascara. Okay, that is good enough. All right, for lower lashes and liner. So liner, I am using the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in Blacker. So I just have the little guy, but this is what it looks like. These come in all sorts of colors, so if you don't want black, they have all sorts of colors. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw on my paper towel first because I have noticed that these, if you don't use them, dry out a little bit. So let's see how this performs. Shh, I'm filming. See, I don't know. Like, that is not as black as I want it to be. Come on, Marc Jacobs. Like, I love everything from Marc Jacobs. except for these, but like everybody loves them and I don't know, what am I doing wrong? Like I am not getting the color payoff that everybody gets. I don't know. And like I've tried them when they're new. They swatch beautifully. Like, look at that. Just when I use it on my face, it just doesn't work. So, I'm sorry, Marc Jacobs, but that is something that I'll never buy. But people, they always give you the little ones. I just dropped it. It's fine. I don't like it anyway. Okay, and then for lower lash mascara, I'm just gonna go back in with the Tarte. See, like, I would like my lower lash line. I know to you guys from far away it looks kind of smoky, but like up close, like I would like it to be more smoky, and it's not because I have hardly any color payoff in my waterline, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's move on to lips. We're almost done. This is the last category. Okay, for lips, lip liner. There are so many good brands of lip liner. I feel like MAC is one that's really hyped up, and I like MAC lip liners, so I would say that one is worth the hype. Marc Jacobs has hyped up lip liners. I like them, but I will say they're a little pricey. So, and the shades. I don't know, it's not all of the shades that I would want. So, slightly limited in that. Let's see, who else? Oh, Pat McGrath is super hyped up. I haven't tried them. Also super pricey, but I would like to try a Pat McGrath lip liner for sure. Let's see, who else? Charlotte Tilbury is hyped up. I only have the Pillow Talk lip liner. I do like the pencil, but Pillow Talk shade is just not a good shade for me. I don't know, it doesn't look super good on me, which is very disappointing because it's like everywhere. But the one I'm going to be using today, which I think is worth all of the hype that it has received, that is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil Crayon, multi-use matte pencil. And this is in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. So this is like a brownie pink and it's beautiful. So I started using these because of Katie on YouTube, and I think I now have 4, maybe 5 of the colors, and I can't wait to go back into stores and swatch some of the other ones because they came out with a whole bunch more colors. So now that I know that it's worth it, I will slowly be growing my collection of them. Okay, you see how easy that was to use? And this is just a regular pencil. Nothing fancy, so you can sharpen it with a regular pencil sharpener. It's not like that plasticky tube where you have to try and sharpen it with a pencil sharpener and it doesn't really work. And it's not a mechanical twist up one where you have to worry about it breaking or falling out. It's just a regular pencil, but it's so creamy at the same time, but not too creamy that it's gonna bleed and smudge everywhere. No, so good. Okay, lipstick. I figured I would just go with a regular lipstick, and I went with Charlotte Tilbury's Kim KW. When this came out, everybody's like, oh my God, it's the best nude. So I have joined this train. Like, when did I get this? Did I get this in the VIB sale? It's new to me. It's very new. And it's very nude. It is quite light, but for the fair girl that I am, it really is a nice light nude. And you see how beautifully that blended out with that lip liner? Like, oh, that combo. You know what? This is good. It's good. And she just came out with her huge Pillow Talk line a couple of months ago. So if you don't like that color, she has tons of other colors. And she came out with 3 shades of Pillow Talk. So you can pick which one you want based off your skin tone. Okay, now we're gonna top it off with some gloss. Glosses, I was having a tough time deciding who I wanted to use. Do I use Pat McGrath? Do I use Fenty? Do I use Buxom? Those are huge gloss names right there, but I decided to go with Marc Jacobs. There's a lot of Marc Jacobs in this, but it's a good brand. So this is the gloss in the shade Sugar Sugar, and it is just so wet looking. It's so minty, and it's a beautiful nude to pair with that lip combo. Like, look at how glossy. I'm not a huge gloss person, but this is a good gloss. Okay, we're gonna set this down with Urban Decay All Nighter. Super hyped up, super worth it. Worth every single penny. If you can, get it when they have the 2 packs. Saves you a little bit of money. Okay, and then I'm also gonna go in with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but I'm gonna cover my eyes when I spray this. I'm gonna take a beauty blender and we're just gonna dab everything in. All right, you guys, this is the finished look of our super hyped up makeup. What do you think? I gotta say, I think everything together looks really good. Everything is just working together. I look glowy. I don't look too overdone. It's like a pretty natural looking makeup look, and it looks good. All right, what are some hyped up products that you guys ran out and bought, and what are your thoughts on them? Were they worth it or were they not? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.